Schoenborn, Danadu, Hilton, and that will do it. The Pacelli Vikings will win their first state championship in program history. And Coach Jillian Schoenborn has rebuilt the program from the ground up, and they defeat their rival in a fantastic match.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Pacelli Coaches Show presented by the Beck Center. I am Richard Holdridge from Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and we are live here at the Beck Center with the championship-winning volleyball coach of the St. Anne Pacelli Lady Vikings. It's Coach Jillian Schoenborn. And, Coach, we were there yesterday. The excitement. They had shirts for you. By the way, that shirt looks awesome. You got drenched in Gatorade.
Oh, gosh.
How are you feeling the day after winning your first ever volleyball championship?
The day after is so surreal. It's still like we woke up and it's like we're state champions. And it was, we're still processing. We had such a huge season. And so to have that kind of season and end on top, it was just amazing.
It was an incredible journey. We were there in the beginning, that August the 8th Thursday night game against Shaw. We live streamed your first three games, that tri-match against Northgate and Columbus. And you went 31-3. The three losses, by the way, were GHSA schools who were ranked
Huge.
top in the state.
And nation.
In the nation as well. And so
Yes.
you look at the journey. Well, first of all, let's take it back to last year, the disappointing loss in the Final Four. Going into this year, what clicked for the team, knowing that this team is different from last year's team, that this team could possibly win a state championship?
So last year at the Final Four, we won the first two sets. It was looking like we were going to go to the championship, match, and the girls fell apart, and it was based on mental toughness. And so after that, we focused solely on mental toughness. And it's like, we are going to play the hardest teams we can play because you guys have to build up your mental toughness and what you know how to do and accept what you can and cannot do. And so, from that, it was Logan'sville, which we played again this year, which I felt like was the state championship. That match, that team is amazing. And they really built their mental toughness throughout the year to play in that game again.
Yeah, and they were the number 4 seed.
Yes.
You had Brookstone, which was the number 3 seed. They upset the number 2 seed, the Kings Academy. And so you had the dream matchup. Everybody in Columbus wanted to see you go up against Brookstone. Just talk about that rivalry with Brookstone, because I thought in those regular season games, we live streamed the game at Pacelli. It was a very competitive back and forth game, but you did win in three sets. The game at Brookstone, a little bit different. 1 in 5 sets. I mean, Brookstone has a very special player in Carson Galligan, who's only a sophomore. I think Coach Halverson does a fantastic job. But what did it mean not only to win the state championship, but to win it against your biggest rival?
That was the biggest thing. And ironically, from the beginning of the season, I told the girls, it is us and Brookstone in the finals. And of course, teenage girls roll their eyes, and I'm like, no, really, it's us and Brookstone in the finals. And so every practice, every big game we did, I'm like, this is like the 5th set of the finals with Brookstone. And it's so ironic that it just came to be with Brookstone, that's who we played.
Well, talk about some of the leaders on your team. Obviously, the front line with Shannon Menifee and Caroline Hilton, but you do have some other specialty players, including your 2 daughters who had just a phenomenal season. Just talk about some of the players that stepped up this season.
Well, really, it was our seniors. Our 5 seniors truly stepped up, and that was Hadley, Selena, Madison, Caroline. I mean, they really came forward, like Sophia. Everybody came together and they decided that this is what we want to do. So my seniors directed Anna, Shannon, they're juniors, they'll be seniors. They have been standouts since they were in 8th grade. And they really brought everyone in and had everyone accept what we were going to do. And what we were going to do is we were going to play like a team. We're not going to fight. I think that's ultimately what set us apart from anyone else, is that it is team and they like each other and there's no room for disagreement.
Well, let's talk about a freshman who's near and dear to you. It's a Noah Bell Schonburn, and every time she served, it seemed like it was going to be like 10 straight points. There was a match where they were on a roll because she was out there serving, led the team with serving aces. What makes Noah Bell special when it comes to serving? Because it seems like she's got a fast serve, it's hard to return, and the team actually rallies and tries to get those points to just keep that streak going.
Yes, and that's true. And so with her, she plays at the highest level. She plays up in Atlanta. There's the highest level competition. She has played in even more important matches than a state championship. So I think her experience as a freshman, being able to serve like that, like everyone just trusts her. And it's funny because one of my players said to me, like, oh, the game was 18-24, we're about to lose, but I saw it was Nola Bell serving, and I knew we were going to win. I'm like, okay, like we're going to win. And she just steps in, she does her job, she doesn't stress out about it, and she stays focused on what she needs to do.
Well, let's talk about that second set in the championship against Brookstone. After winning the first set, it looked like Brookstone was going to win that second set.
Yep.
And can you imagine if that was 1-1, we'd probably be there another couple hours.
Yes.
I mean, it was a huge turn of events. They were up at one point 22-14, but they were up 24-18, like you mentioned. All they need is one more point to win the set and to tie it up at 1-1. And who knows what could have happened in the championship if it was tied 1-1.
Yes.
But the resiliency and to have Nobel at their serving and to get those points, and the final score was 27-25. What was going through your mind knowing that you came back to win that second set, and now Pacelli's up 2-0?
Well, as soon as we came back and won, I knew we had it. But if Brookstone would have taken that, it would have been a battle. I think it would have been a 5-set battle, just with mental toughness and just the girls being upset about a loss. But as soon as Nola Bell walked in to serve, she told another player, she's like, I got this. And so they all got on board that they were going to win and get 8 points before Brookstone got 1.
Yeah, that is just a special quality to have, and really to have that leadership. I've said on the broadcast that your team knows how to close matches. I mean, these sets, Pacelli is able to just find a way to win these sets, and it really starts with that leadership with Caroline Hilton and Shannon Menifee, who's only a junior, by the way. She's going to be back next year. Yeah. But what makes these players special? We talk about Madison Resnick. I mean, we talk about that front line that they got a lot of kills, a lot of digs. Anna Doe is basically able to have the assist to actually set up her teammates. But just talk about that front line and how they've been able to weather the storm and just come in and clutch, especially in these tough matches.
Well, and the thing with our front line is they trust our defensive team. So they are so comfortable and so confident that we're going to get the job done in the back row that they then step up to get the job done in the front row. And just the communication and the family atmosphere that they have with each other. And like if you ask them, they're like, oh, we're just all friends playing volleyball. That's their mantra. This is how we are. And I think that's what sets them apart from any other team, is that they genuinely like each other, and I have high expectations. Like if you're not going to like each other, you can't play volleyball for me. And they know that, and they find a way to do that. And so it has been so, important for the front line to see the support from the back. The back line sees the support from the front, and it is a good combination of kids.
Now, your libero is your oldest, the senior, Hadley Schonburn. She wears the different colored jersey. I mean, she is basically the defensive specialist out there. Just what are some of the traits that has her become a really good leader out on the court? And basically, what are some of the skill set that a libero is supposed to have on the court?
So with the libero, it is you have to be good serve receive, you have to be good at defense, and with Hadley, she has the best serve receive on her team, and she is just the most confident, and she is the captain of the back row. Like she is talking, she will take the balls. The last play of our game, like we were talking about this today while we were doing our ring sizing, the last play of the game, Shannon got hurt. and she had been hit by one of our players, like going for a ball, and she was struggling with bleeding and being hurt. And so Hadley's like, I got this. And so the ball was served at Shannon, and Hadley came over and took it. And, you know, we all joke about it that she steals the balls, but she is literally the captain of the back row and in control of what is going on back there.
All right, let's take it back to that moment when Caroline Hilton got the final point and you won, and they mobbed Caroline and all your 6 starters. They came out, and it was just pandemonium. The fans, by the way, great fan support by Pacelli to make the trip all the way up to Noonan, and Brookstone too. They had fans from Columbus. It was great to see 2 schools from Columbus take over Noonan over there at the Heritage School. But that moment, what was that moment like for you and your team to win a state championship for the first time in school history?
It was so special. And what was most special is just Caroline Hilton. She's been with me since 5th grade. She changed schools with me to another school to play volleyball. And Hadley's been with me since 6th grade. And it's just, you know, all these people I've recruited and encouraged to come here. And it's like, yes, this is why. This is the why that we have done this. We finally are showing all that we can do. And so at the end of the day, it was just, you know, bringing all these kids together to win a state championship.
A couple of cool moments from last night's state championship. You had shirts ready to go.
We did.
Yeah, they brought out the shirts, and you were rocking that, and also they drenched you in a Gatorade bath. What was that like?
Oh my gosh, it was crazy. We had just done an interview, and they said, you know, that one of my kids was throwing up outside, and I'm like, what's going on? So I'm running over there, and I walk out, and it was very cold, and I told them that they will be running for that next season.
Oh. Well, I tell you what, now we are officially in the off season.
Yes.
I know that you're going to take some time, but basically you did say before this show started that the kids got to have the day off from school.
Yep.
But very well rested. They're probably sleeping right now. But what is the off season workouts going to be like? When do you get ready to hit the gym and get ready for next season?
So, I mean, next season starts now. A lot of the girls are doing club. My kids are doing club, and just the 3 workouts, the traveling. And for Pacelli specifically, we start off-season conditioning without a ball with just weight training or agility or jump training. I haven't decided which one this year. We switch on and off each year. We start that in January, so we all come in. It's probably like the 6 a.m. workouts.
Well, Coach, I'm just so excited for the Pacelli family that you guys finally state champions. I know Pacelli as a school has won a lot of state championships. You know, you talk about basketball, football, esports, wrestling, but we can add volleyball to that mix. And out there at Dimel Field, where they have all those state championships, we could put volleyball for 2024, and we are excited. And let's run it back.
Yeah, great.
Let's run it back next year.
That sounds great to me.
All right, my final question to you, Coach. What's the message you want to send out to the Pacelli family out there, those that want to support the volleyball team, that want to, you know, it starts right now, getting ready for next season as we are going into the grind with the workouts, but what are some ways that people who support Pacelli can support the volleyball team?
Well, just supporting the volleyball team is just the positivity. And I think at the end of the day, that's what young females need, is positivity of anything coming at them that's positive, and what they're going to do and what they can do and what they did, and just congratulating them and getting excited about our next season.
Well, I can't wait. Coach, thank you so much for being on the Pacelli Coaches Show, and I look forward to having you on in the near future.
Next year. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, and congratulations. That is the state championship winning volleyball coach from the Pacelli Vikings, Coach Jillian Schonberg. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching another edition of the Pacelli Coaches Show presented by the Beck Center. Don't forget, next week we will have a different Pacelli coach. And I want to thank Toygar, the producer from Thrift Behringer. I'm Richard Holdridge saying so long for the Beck Center, and have a great rest of your night.